Okay, so that's one way to introduce a video, I guess. What's up? So I got a new lens for my camera. It looks pretty interesting. Just kind of looking at it, and it's got this like blur on the edges. If you see that, my hand's blurry, not blurry, blurry. Of course, the very out of focus background. You compare that to some other footage from my other lens, you'll notice, for one, that it's more zoomed in. This is a 35mm lens, which is actually uh, about halfway up the range on this lens I've been using for the past few years. But this one's pretty good. I'm sitting about 3 feet away from the, more like 2 feet away from the camera. So if to get into frame fully, I have to be way back here. Whereas with the other lens, I would only have to be here to get the full shot. Anyway, I think this isn't too bad though. I think this kind of range is fine. You don't need to see like the rest of me, but I just wanted to discuss the video, well, the short film I made, and kind of talk you through it a little bit. So what I did was I took some footage from Wyoming that I had taken on my trip up there and used that for the introduction because I felt that it really fit the sort of theme music, or at least the intro music, Fiddler on the Roof. Had some cows and stuff in a more arid landscape that kind of reminded me of the movie with Tevye, the milkman, and just that sort of whole thing. It was very gloomy, kind of cloudy in winter, so there was snow on the ground in the mountains and stuff. So it was really nice shots, I thought, to just sort of introduce the film, and then with the music that I recorded myself. I wanted to make a note about that, and that is that the music is slightly out of tune. There is a purpose for that. At least you could read a purpose into it. It wasn't exactly intentional at first, but there is sort of just a reason to having it like that, and that is that it kind of sets the mood in an interesting way. It catches your attention, and it kind of draws you into the more janky, if you will, just off the beaten path way of this short film. And it was completely experimental. This short film was. I completed it in a day. I had to go back and finish or fix some music copyright issues and re-upload, so it took a couple more days than I had actually anticipated, but it turned out well to my liking, and I got to showcase a little bit of my more creative violin work, if you will, or horrible violin playing, if you want to look at it that way. But overall, it was pretty good, I thought. So the film, I would call it an experimental short film because it's a bunch of microfilms put into one, sort of segmented like a documentary. So it's kind of like a mockumentary in that you have this feeling that there's somebody else filming and there's someone else interviewing me as this Daniel guy. And you can read into all of it what you want. It's a true story, but it's not exactly 100% true. So you have to kind of figure that out for yourself, I guess. But anyway, really, there's not a whole lot to talk about other than what I've already said about it. It was fun to make. It was satisfying to complete and publish all that. So that's about it. I think that it went well, and I was happy with the results. So I'm just going to kind of leave it at that, and you all can draw your own conclusions about it. I think that's it. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see everybody in the next video.